Hey guys, welcome to Chris Watches the World. And today I want to talk about 5 things we did as kids in the 90s. Now, I don't care what anybody says, I still believe that 90s kids have probably one of the best eras for being a kid that anybody can ever say. It was before social media, it was before cell phones, it was really before video games, even though we had Nintendo, Sega, and we did have the Atari, but we played the Atari like nobody. But today I wanted to talk about like just 5 things that we did as kids that I really don't think a lot of kids do these days, but just things that I thought were awesome in the 90s. And the first one was ride bicycles. When I say we rode bicycles, we was on bicycles. Like everybody had a bicycle. And if you didn't have a bicycle, then hey, you was left out. You couldn't hang with us because you couldn't keep up. We were in neighborhoods, we were riding around blocks. Like I said, we was just on bikes. And what was cool about well, I ain't gonna say it was like a bicycle game, but you always knew where kids were from the bicycles in the yard. So let's just say I came out late. I just woke up, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock on a Saturday or something, and I'm like, man, I don't know what everybody is, because you just didn't call people back then. You just went outside. You just woke up and did whatever you was gonna do, and you just went outside. That's what we did. So, like, man, where is everybody? So you go to the usual spots, you're just riding around. You just happen to run across the house, and you see about 7 or 8 bicycles. So you know everybody's either in there, they're either in the house or they're in the backyard or they're somewhere running around. They're somewhere in the area. So that's we just had that as kids, and I just thought it was so awesome, and it's just something I don't see kids doing today. People don't trust a lot of people, and people got they be on their phone or playing video games online and just stuff like that. But we had bicycles because I like to see when I was growing up. Like it was typically we rode them through the week, but it was typically Saturday and Sunday, the days in summertime, where we rode bicycles. Like when we woke up, we ate, we did whatever we was gonna do. We went outside, and like I said, we just rode bikes. Like I said again, if you didn't have a bike, then hey, you just out of luck because you're walking. So imagine you get on a bike and all your friends is walking. Let's say we're going to the Dave house up the road, and you know what I'm saying, we get there, and like I said, it's just not up the road. It's somewhere in the neighborhood. So we get there within 2, 3 minutes. And you walking, you show up 15, 20 minutes later, and we done started a basketball game or something. So now you gotta wait to somebody lose, or somebody might already had it down. So now you gotta wait to that person. Anyway, you had a bike, you just wouldn't. So you couldn't hang. All right, number 2, we lived outside. We lived outside. This is when I make the same reference with the bicycle. When we woke up, we went outside. Like we was always outside. This was before video games. So, and again, we let me preface by saying we had video games, but we didn't play them like people play them today. Like it was more fun outside playing basketball or playing dodgeball or playing flag football on the sidewalk. Like everybody just woke up and went outside, and like I said, we was outside from sun up to sundown. You know what I'm saying? Like when the street light came on, we know we had to be home. And in the summertime, your parents were a little more lenient, so we even stayed out a little bit past when it got dark. So it wasn't too often, but everybody was outside. Like it's even like some days we didn't even go eat. We just played all day. That was it. We just played all day. And if there was let's say there was a lull in the action, so everybody was playing basketball. Somebody got tired. So I'm going home, get some water. I'll be back. So and so left, then so and so left. So like, all right, we'll go home. Uh, we'll go to the house. Let's just say everybody went to get water. So we went to get water, drinks or whatever we had, and then we came back like, oh man, it was just boring in the house. So about 30 minutes later, we go back outside, and even if you didn't have them same friends that you were initially playing with, you ride around and go find some more friends that on this other side of the neighborhood that would just happen to be outside too playing. So now you hanging with them kids, and like I said, it was one of those deals that was just I just thought it was awesome. Like I really enjoyed being outside, and it's just something that I don't think I know this generation didn't experience, and probably another generation um, after our generation. Like again, because we didn't have technology. Like I said, we had Nintendo and things like that, but it wasn't that serious. We were so used to being outside that we was just outside. At number three, now this may be something that a lot of people still do, but we had sleepovers. Like we had sleepovers. Like when I say sleepover, it's just one person. Like there might be 5 or 6 people at one house at one time spending the night with a parent. Like parents didn't. Parents don't like that, but they did it because it was just one of those things back then. Whenever I went to spend the night at somebody's house, it was typically me. They let my brother come and probably a couple other friends. So there was a bunch of us that just really spent the night at the house. Like it was never just, yeah, I'm going to hang out with so and so. I'm gonna spend that over there, and we just want, it was we went over there like a game. Like we was just over there, we was playing. We stayed up all night. Like say, and some nights we didn't even go to sleep. We just stayed up playing, talking. We did play video games overnight at these sleepovers, but it wasn't always that. I mean, sometimes if somebody had like a really big house, we play hide and seek in the house. We run around. Dragon Ball Z was a big thing back then, so somebody was Goku, somebody was Krillin. I was always Vegeta, but it was just one of those deals that I don't really see kids spending the night like even with my kids. My son, he go spend the night at somebody's house, and it's different. Like my son has had like a friend over, like with one kid, but they're in there playing a game. Like one person might be on like the Xbox 360, somebody else is playing the computer. Like there's no interactions when they come over. I really don't even get why you invited somebody over if y'all just gonna sit on the different different games. I can just talk on the phone or something. Like I don't know. They don't play together. Even my daughter comes over sometimes. Well, not my daughter, but my daughter invite friends over. They're all just sitting there on phones, just one person. They might say a couple words to each other. Sometimes I sit there and be like, man, what's going on here? Just, oh, we having fun. We just doing our own thing. Like, that's, come on. I don't know. Like I said, we interacted with each other. Like, sometimes about from the time they came over to the time they left. Sometimes my daughter have somebody over, and by the time this child's getting ready to leave, the daughter just go sit in her room, and she's just out here either waiting on the parent or something. I'm like, man, what is this? Like, what I'm saying? It's just something completely different. So I think sleepovers is something that's definitely changed over the years due to probably technology or whatever. But okay, number four, video games. I know we still got video games, but video games back then were different because we didn't have online video games. Like if you had, let's see, take Mario for instance. So one of the deals with like Mario and Nintendo when it first came out, like you just got tired of. It was fun, but let's say you in there, you put the cartridge in, what I'm saying, sometime it'll work, sometime it won't work. You gotta go down the street, ask a friend, hey man, how you get yours working? You got a game I can borrow, or whatnot. That was just experience, man. When I say about video games, okay, when I say video games, when I mean video games are different, that was just an example for like Nintendo. Like I was just my aggravation with Nintendo cartridges. Like we just blowing on them. It was a pain in the butt. That's why when they came out, we still went outside. Like, oh, man, this crap might not work or whatever. But the thing about video games, let's say you had a 2-player game, you needed 2 people. Like there was no just I'm finna go find somebody online to play with. And we're gonna chat and talk. No, you needed to find a second person to play this 2-player game, or you was gonna just be by yourself. So you just had to go out. Like if you didn't have a sibling, you had to go find somebody. Hey man, I got this game at the house, and that's how a lot of times you interacted with kids, other kids, and what I'm saying, you made friends a lot easier, even in that aspect. Let's just say you had when Nintendo 64 came out, it had four controllers, to where most of their games were 4 players. So now you need multiple people. So now you going through the neighborhood. Hey man, you wanna come play? Check out this game. There was one game we played. It started with a G. I really don't remember. If I think about it, I'll link it over here somewhere. Um, it was a four-player game. You needed four people to really get the experience. So like, so you got to go find somebody. You call a cousin, if not, but you couldn't play it without other people. So it kind of forced you to interact, and it was just so much more enjoyable. Even the fighting games. Um, like I say, a lot of times when I was riding bicycles and we saw everybody at one house, if they was inside, they was probably playing a game. And you know what I'm saying? If everybody's in there, we're playing games, like a fighting game, you know what I'm saying? There's probably just one guy that's the best. And so, he really ain't passing the joystick because he's whooping everybody. And so he's talking noise and, somebody finally beat him and, the whole room, you finally got beat. You know what I'm saying? Then that person just lose immediately when they get the joystick back and hold it again. But you know what I'm saying? Like the video games are different. Like it was, I don't know. It's just something these kids, I don't believe these days, really experience because, like, again, my son plays games and he just, even when somebody comes over, they're not playing the same game. Like he'll go online, let's say Call of Duty for instance, and you do find people online that your regulars you can play with or whatnot, but it's just not the same as that person being, in your living room or in your bedroom and y'all playing together or whatnot. If that makes sense. So like I say, video games have uh, definitely changed, and it was just so, to me it was so much enjoyable. Just my personal experience that it was more enjoyable as a kid when you had to interact with other kids, and you know what I'm saying, there was groups of us playing the same game and everybody just really enjoyed it. And number five, believe it or not, TV. Let's see, we had TGIF, Saturday morning cartoons. Even back then, I think Dragon Ball Z just came out. You had Pokemon that just came out. You had Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and back then there wasn't a lot of, I don't say kid shows, but there was your favorite. So everybody knew the same thing, or everybody kind of watched the same thing. So you can always typically find somebody that watched this show. Like even if you was, let's say they call you the corny kid or something, even the popular kids watch these shows. Like you were hard pressed to find somebody that didn't watch Dragon Ball Z when it came out, because folks like there was days that I missed football practice because I wanted to see this episode, especially when Goku was going Super Saiyan. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those deals that um, you just can't get these days because you have streaming services, and now they do put them out like week by week, like even just different shows. But I don't know, it just wasn't the same. And I'm talking like from a kid's perspective. Um, but like I said, I just think TV back then was different. Like I say, you had not just Dragon Ball. I know I keep calling Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh. There was other shows like yeah, Family Matters. What was TGIF? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't really remember all those shows. I remember them, but I just can't give them to you off the top of my head. But every Friday we had those, and you can go back the next week and talk about them. Hey man, you see the episode of I keep saying Family Matters. What else came out on TGIF? Anyway, you had Saturday morning cartoons, and I know Yu-Gi-Oh came on. I still think it was like 10 o'clock. So Yu-Gi-Oh came on at 10. Oh man, there's so many. I can't believe I can't think of them right now. I just watched as soon as I stopped this video, all of them will come rushing back. Oh, you had this one. Oh, you had that one. Oh, you had this one. But I don't know. As a kid, it was just so much enjoyable. I guess, but maybe it's more nostalgia than anything. But as a kid, um, take my son in for instance. Like they have shows, but I don't know. It's just not the same. Like kids have so many options now. Like nobody just really likes the same thing. Like when you have 400 options of what you can watch, everybody's watching something different unless it's just super popular. Again, back then we only had a couple stations and a couple popular TV shows, so everybody could relate to it. And it was just a more overall enjoyable experience, my opinion. But Anyway, guys, that's it. Those were the five things that we did as kids from the 90s that I think are, just something that, this generation and probably generations after us won't experience because, like I said, we were the generation, before technology and we still played outside, but we still came up with video games, so, but that's it, guys. If you will, please you know, comment down below your most enjoyable experiences from the 90s and let me know what you all think. Is it the same? Is it not? Anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching if you made it this far and catch you in the next one. Peace.